Good morning. It's Wednesday. I'm Wayne. Welcome to Wednesdays with Wayne, brought to you by the Real Estate Business School, where you get your license and learn to use it. This is the learn to use it part. Today we're talking about marketing. This is the Real Estate Business Blueprint. This shows the 6 components of the business and the definition and goal of each. Marketing is the number one skill to have. There are several reasons why. If your marketing is weak, to sell is hard. If your marketing is weak, you have to become a salesperson. That's the biggest problem. And the reason why it's the biggest problem is because most people don't like salespeople. I don't think people want to be sold. I think they want to be educated so they can choose. Even salespeople don't like salespeople. So if you ask somebody, when I'm going to say a word, you tell me the first 4 words that pop into your mind, and you say the word salesman, you ask them what they think about the word, they're going to tell you in no uncertain terms what they think of salespeople. And most people associate and have a negative connotation on salespeople. We just don't want to be forced to make a decision or tricked into buying something we don't want or need. So in order to stay out of the role of being seen as a salesperson, you must become a good marketer. It simply means educating the customer. What business are you in? Education. No matter what business you're in, your education of your customer must play a huge component if you want to lead them to make the decision, I'm going to do business with you, which is the sole purpose of marketing. So it is the number one skill to have, in my opinion. Some people say sales is number one. I disagree because I don't think we sell people things. I think we educate and let them choose. So it's marketing, number one. So it keeps you from being a salesperson. If your marketing is good, to sell is easy. If your marketing is not good, your sell is going to be hard. It also positions you in the prospect's mind, and it positions you as the obvious choice, and it keeps you from competing on price alone. And the last thing it does, it leads them to the decision of going to do business with you. So these are the 4 or 5 things that I think marketing is the number one skill to have. And I'm going to go into what those tools are and how to use them. There's only 4. They're really simple. It's fairly easy unless you understand it. If you don't understand it, it's hard. If you're on your my known response to your ads, your phone doesn't ring, this might help a little bit. Last week went into unique marketing position. So if you don't have this real estate business blueprint for your office wall and you want one, just email me, info@buildmyrebusiness.com, or just comment below and we'll follow up with you and get you one. But it's right here, the marketing component. Here is the definition, which is getting known, and here is the goal. Prospect makes contact. And what we're taught to do oftentimes, especially when we get into real estate, the brokers teach us to chase people and hope they choose us. And if you use the law of attraction, you become attractive. You become attractive when you become an educator. People don't want to be sold, they want to be educated, so educate them. So how can you add value to these people's lives? You teach them how to buy a house without you. You teach them how to sell their house without you. This is one of the most successful campaigns I did. And my forte or my niche was for sell by owners. They were identified, sourced. I didn't have to convince them to sell their home. I just had to convince them to list it with me. They were adamant about listing it with a broker. They didn't want any part of it. And there were several reasons why. I simply told them, I'm the only broker in the state that will help you sell your home without a broker. And they went, what? Yeah, I'm going to show you how to sell it. Can I tell you right now a few things you could do, things I'd suggest? Yeah. Okay, well, I would do this, I would do that. And I tell them a few things. And I go, do you mind if I stay in touch? No, stay in touch. Okay, fine. I go back next week. Okay, I see you got the things done. It's okay. I give you a couple more tips. Okay, yeah. Well, I would do this, and you see it over there, and see this here. I would do this like that, and maybe do this like that, and see if have you had any success with your open houses? No, they just come up and they look and they drive off. So on it goes. I didn't go in there and ask for the listing. I just educated them. But this is my unique marketing position. So we're taught to chase them, hope they choose us. What I decided to do is become more attractive, and they would chase me and I would choose them, because you don't want to do everything. You don't want to list every home on the market. Some aren't saleable. They've got to have a motivated seller. Oftentimes you talk about, does the house qualify? Does it qualify for a mortgage? Well, the buyer has to qualify too. The seller has to qualify too. Everyone has to qualify. And if they meet the qualifications, then we do business with them. By meet qualifications, I mean if they want to list it at 20% over market to allow for negotiations and have it only open, available, like no sign, appointment only, show it every Thursday on full moon when it's raining outside. I mean, you can't get in the bloody thing. And so you got to understand that realtors are going to flow like water to the easiest deal. So when you're marketing these homes to two markets, the public and other realtors who have buyers. So you've got to have two marketing campaigns. So the marketing campaigns are designed to be so attractive that the prospects contact you. And what makes you attractive is your educational campaign, because people don't want to be sold. So we're going to educate them. This is a unique marketing position. This is what we covered last week. So if you were here and saw that, great. If you didn't, great. You can go to Facebook page. You can go to our YouTube page. You can watch that video. But this is where it begins. So under the marketing component, these are the tools. And number one is UMP, unique marketing position. What makes you unique? Because you're either unique or you're the same, and there's no in between. And if you're the same, you become a commodity. If you're a commodity, you're subject to price pressure. Gasoline is the classic commodity. It's all the same. It comes out of the same hole in the ground, goes to the same refineries. It goes in the trucks. It comes to the retail shop. They put it in the ground. I pump it in my car. 87 octane, 92 octane, 89. It's all the same. 92 is 92 is 92 octane. There's no difference in where you go buy it. It's all the same gasoline. My car doesn't know the difference, so I'm down to price. Some things I buy strictly on price. If they're a commodity and they're all the same, why not pay the least amount? That's what people do. So this is unique marketing position. The next one here is what's called direct response. A direct response ad is simply an ad that causes, that compels or motivates the reader, the viewer, or the listener, whatever format you're using, to respond to you. And there's a big difference between an announcement and an ad. A lot of people are running ads, excuse me, a lot of people are running announcements, but they're calling them ads. They're not ads because there's no, it's called a CTA, right? Call to action. You got to have a call to action. Otherwise, it's an announcement. So picture like a wedding announcement. So-and-so are getting married. Here's the date. Here's the place. Here's the time. See you there. RSVP if you're coming. That's a direct response. The RSVP is the call to action. It's almost like an ad, but it's an announcement. Same with the baby shower. So-and-so is having a baby. Congratulations to so-and-so. Here's the time. Here's the place. Here's the baby's name. Here's what you bring. RSVP here. Direct response. Well, your ad should look the same way. So we'll go into the formula next week, but very simply, the formula is interrupt, engage, educate, offer. And the offer is the response. It's something you offer at the end of the ad that compels the listener, viewer, reader to take action. It's a low risk way to get in touch with you without talking to you, because they don't want to talk to you because you're a salesman. They don't want to talk to you, salesman. They might like what you're offering. They may want to know more about it, but they don't want to talk to you. But they would like to interact with you. So what do? You give them something of value. So what we have a campaign, you can download the book. We give a lot of these away. I don't know how many, a bunch. Every week people download these and they go read them. So this is our brochure. This is our business card. And so all we want to do is give people a little insight into what we do, how we do it, why we do it that way, and the benefit to them. And we just give them a simple set of instructions. Like, here's the book. Just read chapter 1. And that's what we're hoping to avoid with you. If you don't like what you read there, don't do those things. Do this instead. Here's how you keep from being the person in chapter 1. And I've seen it hundreds and hundreds, thousands of times over my time in real estate. People get in with high hopes and high dreams and high aspirations, but they leave a few months later. And the main reason why is because they don't know how to market themselves. For example, there'll be a day you get your license, right? Once you get a license or you start your own business, people just aren't just going to come flocking into you because you've gotten a license or opened a retail establishment. You've got to have a marketing campaign. There's got to be a reason why. Because those consumers, whether you're buying or selling, we're all in the same boat. Because what most consumers are asking is, what's in it for me? Why should I do business with you? And why should I give you my money? If you can't answer those questions, they're going to keep shopping. So a low way to do this is offer direct response. It's a low risk way to educate them, communicate with them, start building a relationship with them without talking to them, which they don't want to do. So you just offer something. Offer a book. Go to my website. Click here to learn more. Click here for this. Click here for that. And the key to me is to obtain the person's email. The wealth or the gold in your organization is your database, emails. And if you can capture the emails and put them on an educational campaign and email them things that are relevant and anticipated and useful and helpful, and teach them how to do what they want to do or have what they want to have, ultimately they will become, the prospect becomes a customer. A customer becomes a client. The client becomes a raving fan. And so it's a process. Real estate is very transactional, and you've got to decide if you're in real estate, if you're going to be a transaction-based realtor or a relationship realtor, because they're two different kinds of realtors. And I've seen both. The one that trained me was a transaction realtor. It was all about get the deal done, get it done tonight. There was very little follow-up, very little relationship building. It was sell the house, sell the house, sell the house. I learned over the years that was very nearsighted. And I made a lot of mistakes in my first 2 years figuring this business out. And what I learned over the years is that relationships are more long-term. If you commit to that long-term goal, it's educating them. Again, what do you do? How do you do it? Why do you do it that way? And more importantly, what's the business? What's the benefit to them? So it's a direct response. This will keep you from running announcements. If you run an announcement without a direct response or call to action, you're throwing money away. I recently hired a new marketing firm, and they said, "What's the biggest problem you're having?" I said, "I'm wasting half of my money on marketing." They said, "Half?" "Yeah, at least 50% is being wasted." They go, "Have you identified the problem?" I said, "Yeah, I don't know which 50%." I have no idea. So we start with this. Okay, so again, the formula is interrupt, engage, educate, offer. The offer is in a direct response. Your website should be content rich. And you send your prospects there. Go here, click there. How do I sell my house? Just create an article, right? Something like, 10 things you can do to sell your house at top dollar at 98% of asking price in 30 days or less. And go get that article and make it available to every home seller that you know. How to sell your house in 30 days or less at top dollar without a broker. And just educate them. Just keep educating them. So that's direct response. Do not run what I call institutional ads or announcements. Open house, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2 living, 2 dining, great neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. It's an announcement. Add something in there. Come see why. Come see the 3 features you won't find in any other home in this area. Come see the 4 things that make this house special. 2 things you'll always want when you buy a house. They're in this, whatever it is. But anytime you want an ad, if you could, just get in the habit of putting a call to action or something that compels the person who's reading, watching, or listening to your ad to take action. You want to spur them to take action. Not just go, okay, nice ad, and they go to the next one, they go to the next one. Finally, they found one written this way, and that's the one they go to. So that's direct response. Okay, email me if you have any questions. The next tool is risk reversal. Anytime someone signs a contract, they take a risk. Anytime someone writes a check, they take a risk. So I learned this in my first 6 months in real estate. If I took that risk away, they're more willing to sign a contract and to hire me to represent them. So it started off when I was representing sellers. And they would say, why would I hire you? So, well, these are all the things I'm going to do. If I don't do these and tell you I've done them, in other words, communicate back to you, and if necessary, show you I've done them, you can fire me with a phone call. This is my easy, I drew it up. It was a piece of paper, and it said at the top, easy exit listing guarantee. And I put it in writing. If I don't do what I say, if I don't do these things, communicate to you I've done them, and show you I've done them, you can fire me with a phone call. I have my signed law bucks off your property within 24 hours. And I sign it and I hand it to them. That's my guarantee. So the guarantee is how you reverse the risk. I would take the risk of performing. Instead of putting them at risk, I take the risk. Same thing with buyers. We go, how do you do risk reversal with buyers? It goes simple. If buyers want to buy a home and you shop them, you interview them, you have long conversations with them, I would go to their home, the current home that they have. If they're move-up buyers, I go to the home they live in and go, okay, tell me what you like about this house. And they would show me. I said, okay, great. Write it all down. Tell me what you don't like about it. Why are you moving? I know you love it, but some things you don't love about it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be moving. Well, what are those things? This, I don't like this. I don't like that. I prefer to have this, a bigger that, a smaller that. Move over here. Write it all down. Once I know what they don't want and I know what they want, now it gets easy. So after you do all that, if you go show them homes, and you should do that, I had this one agent say, my buyers are so loyal. I've shown them 50 homes. I'm like, what? 50? You're not listening. You're not asking the right questions, honey, or you're not listening very well, because it doesn't take 50 houses. I mean, holy mackerel. I'd have fired them 40 houses ago. They don't want to look at 50 houses. I don't know. Maybe they're professional shoppers. But a real home buyer, I don't think they want to be dragged to the hills of Central Texas in the summertime heat. I think they want to get to the end of the story. Nonetheless, if you do this intense, immersive educational process, information gathering process, you get pretty clear on the house they're looking for. If you've been out looking at homes, and you should be at least 2 hours a day, you should know what inventory is on the marketplace in your primary service area. You should know what's out there. Now, you should know what's sold. You should know what's expired. You should know what's active. You should know what's sold. So if you're committed to the business, you know all this. You look at their house. You tell them. They tell you what they like. They tell you what they don't like. You know what's on the market. It shouldn't take 50 houses. Okay, just pick out the 5 most you think are most fit their description, and go show it to them. If and when you do that, and they find the perfect house, and you can tell it's a perfect house, usually because they start complaining about it. Well, it needs this, it needs that. And, well, why would someone complain about the perfect house? Because they want to find something wrong with it so they can pay less. As soon as if they don't show anything, it's not the house. If they start bitching about it, you're in the house. Stop showing houses, okay? You're in it. They still may have some reluctance about making this big decision. They've been in this home a certain amount of time. They're comfortable with the payment. They're going to ratchet up. It's a pretty big increase in the payments. It's a bigger house. It's more maintenance. It's more utilities. It's more of everything. And sometimes, even though they really want to do it, there's some hesitancy there. Well, then just use a risk reversal. Just say, look, I had a feeling based on what you've seen, based on what I've shown you, based on the conversations we've had, what the defects in your current home. I know it's not defective, but say that. The defects in your current home, what you don't like about it, anxious to move, you want to upgrade. Let me just ask you this. If all things considered, it's the right home, right? I mean, is this it? Yeah, it's kind of it, but it's a big decision, the taxes and you understand? Tell you what I'll do. Here's what we'll do. Take the house, okay? Let's get it off the market. If within the first 12 months you decide you don't want to live here, let me know. I'll put it back on the market and list it with no commission. They're sometimes concerned about getting out of the house and paying the fees to move, and just take the risk away. That's one way to do it, but then several times it worked great. So if you're a listing agent, when you ask them to sign a contract, tell them you'll give them a guarantee. If they're buyers, tell them you put them on the market again with no fee and you'll market it for them. There's a couple ways you can reverse the risk. The other way is a guarantee. Guarantees are great. We have a whole new product we're bringing out. It's going to launch tomorrow. You're the first to know. This is the product. We're going to take the pre-licensing package that we have. It's got the 6 Texas Real Estate Commission truck required courses, plus the exam prep, plus 30 hours of mentoring in this package. Then we're going to have bi-monthly accountability calls, 1 hour with me to go through the mentoring program, set your goals, set your appointments, go over scripts, how to get appointments, how to do presentations, the whole 9 yards. On top of that, we're going to add your first 2-year renewal, the 98-hour package, which is the 3 30-hour courses plus the 2 4-hour courses of CE, truck required CE, a legal update and a contract update. So it's 98 hours, the 2-year package. On top of that, we're going to add 10 years worth of CE. So it'll be 5 CE packages. All that in one package for $895. And we guarantee that you'll sell a home. If we don't, we refund your money. So it's this huge package. No one else is offering it. And that's how we're going to reverse the risk. We're going to take as much as we can, charge as little as we can, and reverse the risk by making a guarantee. If you take these packages, take these courses, show up for these events, write down your goals, commit to making appointments, talking to people. Here's what you say. Here's how you find them. Here's what you say to them when you find them. Here's what you do on your first appointment. Here's what you do on your second appointment. Here's how you do a listing presentation. You do all that, we guarantee you'll start selling houses. That's how we reverse the risk. Okay. Any questions? Email me. Next one is back end. Most sales are made on the front end. If you look at, say, real estate schools, most of the money comes from front end. Because the attrition rate is north of 80%, there's very little back end because people are out of the business. They're not around long enough to take the renewal or CE courses. This is why we do what we do, to keep people in the business longer. We're interested in having a big back end sales force, back end sales. So we need this. I was going to say we want to have a big back end. That didn't sound right. I don't want a big butt. I'm trying to trim it down. I'm trying to figure out how to say that properly. I don't know if I did that or not. But in business, you want a big back end. So what can you do in your business to create a long train of products? This is why when you go into the grocery store, you see Coca-Cola, then you see Diet Coca-Cola, you see caffeine-free Diet Coca-Cola, then you see Diet Coca-Cola, sugar-free, caffeine-free Coca-Cola. And it's like this, it's called a line extension, right? It's like, it's a 50-foot long aisle and 49 feet of it are Coke. That's all line extension. They're just building the back end. And so when you have a business, one thing you want to avoid is one income source. Okay, so you need multiple income streams. If you're going to do multiple income streams, then that's the same as back end. What else can you provide to your market that they don't currently have. Well, if your enemy, in our business, we have an enemy. If your enemy is attrition, then this is what you go after. Well, how do you do that? Well, you simply educate the customer. Well, how do you do that? Well, you tell them the truth about the business. But what's the truth? The truth is, some of these marketing pieces I've seen say, start a career in real estate. Real estate's not a career. It's not a career and it's not a job. It's a business. Look, all this is you're going to be doing all these things as a realtor. You're going to be marketing. You've got to have these, and you got to have these tools, and you got to know how to use them. If you don't know how to market, your phone doesn't ring. Marketing is the number one skill to have. You have sales, production, customer service, bookkeeping, and accounting. If you don't have any marketing, there's no one to sell to. There's nothing to produce. There's no customers to service. There's no books to keep. There's no accounting to do. That's why it's the number one skill to have. This is the business, not a job, not a career. If you don't treat it like a business or run it like a business, you're out of business. And that's a fact. I can prove it because 80% fail. You know why? They don't have a business education. So our enemy is attrition. And so what we want to do is we want to keep people in the business as long as we can. So all our courses, once you get licensed, and this is what we tell them, your license guarantees you nothing. This is what I'm trying to tell you right now. I've been in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of listing presentations. No one's ever asked me the difference between accretion and erosion. No one's ever asked me how many square feet are in an acre. No one's ever asked me to go point out where their easement is and what's in it and what it's for. They don't care. What they want to know is, are you going to market my property for me to get the maximum exposure? Are you going to sell it for top dollar, and are you going to negotiate best price and terms for me? Those are business terms. Those are business tools. Those are business skills. You've got to have a business education. And so you've got to have a back end. And the way we build our back end is just like I just described. We have the pre-licensing courses, so front end course. The renewal courses are back end. The CE courses are back end. Well, how can we make those to where they help people stay in the business longer? How do we teach them the business of business, the business of real estate? So you have three types of education. Technical education required to pass the exam, the business education your clients expect you to have, and financial education you're going to need to acquire below market, low risk real estate properties. So that's it. Those are the four tools. Unique marketing position. What elevates, separates, differentiates, and distinguishes you from all your competition? What makes you unique? What positions you in that prospect's mind as the obvious choice? What will they be, do, or have with their relationship with you? What's the benefit to them? Why should they give you their money? Why should they do business with you? You answer that with your new NP. What makes you unique? And when you're in your ads, make sure they're direct response. You got to have a call to action in there. Click here for more information. Go to my website and read the article, How to Sell Your Home at Top Dollar with No Broker, in 30 days or less without a broker. How to maintain a house. How to buy a house at below market interest rates. How to buy a house 20% below market. How to negotiate with the seller. How to find problem properties or problem sellers you can buy below market. How about that one? How to find problem properties with problem sellers you can buy below market. There's all kinds of material, information, data you can curate or find to put on your website. Your website should be content rich, and your ads should all have a direct response or a call to action linking them to the article, and put it in the site and click the link straight to the article. Have the landing page with all that stuff on it. If I were you, I'd have a site that would look like this. If you're starting out or getting going today, put your site and make it look like this. Have sellers enter here, buyers enter here. If you want to buy a house, click here. Have all this content. And then sellers, all this content. We got so much content. So again, I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but the whole purpose of marketing is to educate the consumer about, again, who you are, what you do, why you do it that way, and the benefit to them. Here's the benefit you're going to get working for me, working with me. Here's what happens when you hire me. I mean, most of these agents, they're like taxi drivers running around the cheap car going from fair to fair to fair, trying to get to the closing table. With me, the destination is the same, but I'm more like a luxury limousine. You're going to, the journey's the same, but you're going to enjoy it a whole lot more. And just learn how to keep a communication, a dialogue with these people that elevates, separates, differentiates, and distinguishes you from all your competitors out there, which I know board right now is what, 12, 13,000. Okay. Does that help? Hope so. But make content, content, content. Educate, educate, educate. What business are you in? Education. Okay, that's it for today. I hope that helps. Those are the 4 marketing tools: unique marketing, position, direct response, risk reversal, back end. I'll see you next week. This has been Wednesdays with Wayne. Once again, thank you for your time. If you have any questions or need any help, be sure to email me, info@buildmyrebusiness.com, or just call us at 453-0900. Someone will be happy to take your call and get it over to me. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next Wednesday. Enjoy your day.